Welcome to Talk Soon, Season 2, Episode 6. It's just me and Vince in the building.
Pick
Chuck
and
is a
roll.
no-show. Pick and roll time. We're going to
Do
get it
it.
rocking. First, we're going to recap the games from last week. So we had Bucks Falcons. We talked about that briefly last episode.
Mhm.
Vikings handled the Jets. Bears handled the Panthers. That was your lock of the week. Ravens over Bengals. Dolphins over Patriots. Commanders over Browns. Jags over Colts. Texans beat the Bills. Broncos over Raiders. Cards over Niners. Nice upset there. Packers over Rams. Giants over Hawks. And the Cowboys beat the Steelers. And last, the Chiefs beat the Saints. Takeaways, Vince. It was a pretty interesting week last week.
Yeah, I would say it was definitely an interesting week. I say my takeaways would be big win for the Houston Texans. I feel like against the Bills. I think I said it, after the Bears loss, and I know people probably said, "Oh, he's just talking about the Bears," but it's going to be a tough place to win in, man. And I think the Bills felt that. Although they tried to make a push, it was a good game. My other takeaway is, well, they won this past Thursday, but 49ers, man, 49ers look like they got a little chink in their armor, man. And, they're still missing McCaffrey, but they definitely, right now, they got a little chink. And I think that they look beatable, if you ask me. They don't look like the powerhouse that they've been, although they just beat Seattle this past Thursday. And then other than that, yeah, like you said, my lock of the week hit. I gave you guys Bears spread, and I feel like that game was over at halftime. So, yeah, interesting week. Glad Bears got a dub, and let's move on.
Yeah, your lock hit. Josh Jacobs anytime my lock hit. I forgot
Yep.
Chuck's lock, but it didn't hit, so our parlay missed. But
Browns. I think it was Brown spread.
Brown
Boo.
something like that.
Yeah.
Boo. And Chuck ain't here to talk about it.
Right.
I finally got my underdog pick wrong. I think I took the Bengals and they had it, man. They had it at the end. They missed a field goal. And I also remember I liked the Jets last week and Rodgers choked. Rodgers, I pick at the end of the game, Rodgers choked. But my
Yeah.
biggest takeaway is just Daniels and the Commanders, man. I'm starting to think they're a true threat to the NFC East.
Mhm.
I didn't see it coming this early. I thought he would be a good quarterback that gets them to about 8 wins, but they're rolling right now. So that's my biggest takeaway from last week. Got to
Yeah.
keep an eye on the Commanders. Rolling into week 6, you did talk about the Niners a little bit. Question for you: do you think C-Mac comes back this year?
I do. I mean, I've seen some videos of him like doing some workouts, and I think the 49ers are kind of just playing it safe. Not saying that he's healthy or he could play right now, but I do think the 49ers know that they got enough to win the division, win enough games to get into the playoffs, and I can see them maybe holding them out into the last quarter of the season, maybe even the playoffs if you just want to bring them back then. But because you know what you're gonna get from C-Mac when he's in the game, you're gonna get a touchdown, maybe two guaranteed, and he's gonna run the ball, he's gonna catch the ball. But I think for to answer your question, I think he'll be back this season.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot at running back right now.
Yeah,
They
because
just
George Mason
lost
is banged up, right?
Jordan Mason just went down. I don't know
Yeah,
how long he'll be out, but looked like a collarbone or rib injury. I couldn't really tell. He's grabbing around his shoulder,
right.
landed on his shoulder pretty hard. Before we roll into these next week games, I wanted to just show everyone the standings. AFC looks pretty normal if you're looking at it from this aspect. The wild card teams are a little jumbled up. Probably people didn't expect the Broncos, Chargers. Some may have the Steelers in there. And when you
Mm-hmm.
get to the NFC, it gets crazy. You got the Vikings at the top. Commanders a 2 seed. I know it's early for playoff talk. Falcons, that's not much of a surprise. Niners, Lions. But when you're looking at this, it's crazy to see Vikings and Commanders at the top of the NFC. Something I just wanted to point out
I don't know
this
what's
early in
going
the
on with the
season.
Vikings, man. The Vikings are playing like out of their minds.
Yeah,
At least in or at least in the first half, like they're dominating teams in the first half. Teams are having to figure out Brian Flores' defensive scheme, and
yeah,
by the time they figure it out, shit, the game is over with. You're
the
down three,
game's
four
over.
scores. So props to them. I hope that me being a Bears fan, I hope they come down to reality or back down to earth some.
Yep.
It's crazy, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I think I talked about the Vikings a little bit last week. I was kind of on the fence. I actually heard someone talk about this on one of the sports shows. They were saying like you respect them, but you just got to see a little bit more to say, all right, this team could really go to the Super Bowl and do something because
For
the,
sure.
the
It's still
defense.
early. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. Right now, like you said, the AFC is pretty straightforward. The NFC is it's going to be hell on wheels until week 17, in my opinion.
Yep.
But I think overall it's still early. I think the Chiefs are the best team, and right now everything else is to be unseen or unknown.
Yeah, no surprise there. So rolling into this week's games, week 6, we got the Jags at your Bears. A weird looking spread, but the Bears here have a chance to go 4-2. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I am a little nervous. No Tariq Stevenson. No. Well, I'm not. I'm not certain. No Tariq. He got injured in practice. No Jaquan Brisker. For you people who watch intensively, Brisker was the guy who laid out the tight end from Carolina last week.
Smoked them.
He's been playing great football. Like, talk about a history.
Man.
I am a little worried because the Jags have experience in London. The Bears really don't. Like, I think our last London game was 2020 against the Raiders. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I will say, if you do bet this game, don't touch the spread. I would go Bears money line because I do think that we'll rattle Trevor Lawrence enough to win the game, but definitely a tricky one.
Yeah, it's spot on. I agree with you here. I don't love the spread, but give me the Bears to win. That just smells like a 24-23 type of game or something like that. Yeah, I like the Bears. I'm not much to talk about. The Jags don't look great, but the line is fishy for sure. And good point saying the Jags have a lot of experience in London. Moving on, this could be a potential game of the week. Commanders at Ravens. People are already comparing this kid to Lamar. I say slow down a little bit. Lamar has already set his legacy. We got the Commanders at Ravens. Talk to me.
The Commanders are interesting. They're interesting. I'll be honest and tell you, and I've told my Commander friends who, I lived in the DMV area for 12 years, I've told them this weekend I'm going to watch the full game, and I want to see what I'm actually looking at. But I got to take Commanders with 7. I I don't think they win the game. But I think the Ravens defense is still figuring it out. They've been giving up a lot of points lately. They gave up a lot to Cincinnati. I think they gave up a lot the week prior and things like that. So I like the Commanders with 7. But if they win this game, man, the NFC East is going to be tight. It's going to be real tight between them and the Eagles, and I mean the Cowboys are they're still there too. So. I like Commanders with 7. I wouldn't bet. Like, I'm not pressed to bet it, but if I had to, I would take Commanders with 7 just because they've been rolling offensively and the Ravens defense has been spotty.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side here. I think Ravens are just getting rolling. They had a few rough weeks in the beginning, and I think they're starting to play into their playoff form. The spread, when you're looking at it, I don't know. I know people are seeing the Commanders score a lot of points. They're probably like, give me the 6.5 all day, back and forth game. But I think the books got this. I don't want to even say it's spot on, man. 6.5 is such a Ravens line. So I'm thinking they might run away with this one early. Give me the Ravens.
Quick little tip for the chat. I will say I think Lamar Jackson is like 22-2 against the NFC all time. And most of the time when he plays the NFC team, it's a fucking rout.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would take that into consideration. Again, like I said, I wouldn't bet it. And if I can harp a little bit on, I guess Jayden Daniels is, I'm a proponent for all black quarterbacks. I want to see him succeed. But let's pump the brakes on Rookie of the Year, and maybe we could talk about that a little later. But and it could, that award could very well, already be given to JD, just because of agendas and things like that. But pump the brakes. Caleb Williams is playing good football the last few weeks, and I would say just hold the brakes on that. It's very possible both quarterbacks are going to be good and one of the top quarterbacks in the NFC in the foreseeable future. But let's pump the brakes on Rookie of the Year because my boy he's been playing good lately.
Yeah, as I said, I like Ravens there. Only thing that does worry me is that was a kind of an emotional win last week. They send it to overtime and they win it. I don't like those hangover games all the time, but the books look like they don't care about that with the 6.5.
Yeah, they're like, no way.
Yeah. Next, we got Bucks at Saints. I like the Bucks here for the simple fact of the storyline. The Hurricane just prayers to the people out in Tampa and Sarasota. and the Marys that got hit pretty hard. But not that I want to mix Hurricane in with football, but I think the Bucks show up and show out. I expect Mike Evans this last few games he hasn't fared too well against Laddie. I'm pretty sure Laddie's playing. I think Mike Evans is going to go off. He's had 2 multiple TD games already. May get another one for all we know. Give me the Saints the Bucks -3.5 here in New Orleans. A big line for the Saints at home with Spencer Rattler starting. What you thinking, Vince?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, G. I think it was week 1. Tampa Bay played the Commanders actually, and did a pretty good job against Jaden Daniels. I think a Todd Bowles defense is tough to go against when you're a rookie, especially a rookie like Spencer Rattler, who until this week you wasn't getting first team reps and things like that. And to go up against Vita Vea and, like I said, the Todd Bowles defense in your very first career start, whether it's at home or the road, is a pretty tough ask. So I'm with you. Give me the Bucks. Bucks -3.5.
And those that play DFS, if you're playing a cash lineup head to head, any kind of double up, Spencer Rattler is 4K. I mean, it's almost impossible not to play him.
Mm-hmm.
I think in our league, we're probably going to see about 50% of the field play him just because if he
Right.
gets 10, 11, 12 points, he pays himself off. But just a
Right.
little tip out there for DFS players. Next, we're rolling into the Cards at Packers, an interesting game. The money looks like a split right down the middle. Percent of bet spread are more on the Cards. This is a tough one to call for me. I haven't looked into it much. What are you thinking, Vince?
It's tough. The Cardinals and the Packers are 2 teams that I just can't figure out yet.
Same.
Jordan Love just looked awful last week, and I think that if they were playing a slightly better football team or a team that just is more available, because we know the Rams don't have Nakua or Cooper Kupp, and their offensive line is depleted, and they won that game by 5 points. But we know the football is a week-to-week league. And then Arizona, right? Arizona just got a big W against the San Francisco 49ers the week prior. I like Arizona here, man. And it's not just NFC, North bias. I do think Arizona could cover. I don't know about winning the game because Mike LaFleur is a pretty good head coach, probably top 2, 3 in the game. So maybe he'll figure it out for him. But give me the Cardinals with the points. I may even sprinkle something on money line. I do think they have a very possible chance of winning this weekend.
Look, we're on opposite sides of the fence again. I think Love has a bounce back game. He did look terrible last week, really bad.
Yeah.
I think the Packers defense just tightens up a little bit, makes it tough for Kyler. Probably contain him, keep him in the pocket, make him have to pass downfield. I'm pretty sure Jair Alexander's playing, so I imagine he's going to shadow Harrison. So one of them guys, Dortch or Wilson, are going to have to step up for the Cards, and I don't believe in it. Connor's going to have a rough time versus the Packers run D. Give me the Packers here, -5.5 to put them at 4-2, and make your division's gonna be a tough one, man.
For sure.
And another potential game of the week. Hope it lives up to the hype. We got the Detroit Lions, Chuck, as a no-show at the Dallas Cowboys. Lions are laying 3 on the road. Cowboys home dogs +3.
Yeah, this is definitely game of the week. They had a pretty good game last year, if you guys remember. It had a very controversial call at the end. Dallas did go ahead and pull that out. But man, I think Dallas is in a situation where they didn't invest in the offseason because they had to give Dak some more money. They had to pay CeeDee Lamb, and so they got the Micah extension coming up soon. And the Lions are just a powerhouse football team, and they just got more, man. I like the Lions to win this game easily, man. Unfortunately, because like I said, I'm a Bears fan, but I think the Lions win this one pretty handily. Just because Dallas they don't have enough, man. They don't have a running back that's elite anymore. They got one receiver basically. The defense is injured. I just don't see how the Lions lose this game.
Yeah, I'm with you here. We're on the same side here. I think Lions cover this 3. I don't know if it'll be easy because they might be up 10 and maybe Dallas does some type of backdoor. But
Right.
I know it was 3.5 earlier in the week, so no one has to worry about the hook now. Give me the Lions here. I think they're just going to run the ball and run right down the throat of the Dallas defense. They can't stop the run.
Yep.
Their defense isn't what everyone thought it would be. And it's kind of just alarming seeing Dallas get 3 at home, as good as they played at home last year.
Right.
So yeah, I love the Lions -3 here. I'll be rooting for them. Might break out a Barry Sanders jersey, something like that. But
Right.
yeah, love the Lions in this spot. Next, we got Bills at Jets. I'm tired of talking about the Jets. I'm tired of talking about Aaron Rodgers. He choked last week, and he went bitching at the ref, and it wasn't on the ref. You threw a back shoulder, you short-armed it, and Gilmore picked you off. I'm tired of talking about the Jets. It is a fishy line, but I'm not even going to overthink it. I love the Bills -2.5 here. I just don't think the Jets are that good of a football team, and I don't know if them even trading for Adams solves anything. I know it'll help Garrett Wilson and some spacing, obviously, and I think Adams still has some left in the tank, but that's a potential if they get him with his contract. So I'm done talking about the Jets. I don't believe in them. I know it's a division game, another division home dog, but give me the Bills here.
I'm with you again, G. If we just talk about longevity for a second, man, everybody can't be Tom Brady. Everybody cannot be LeBron James, and that's no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. As a Bears fan, I give him all the props in the world. He's, at the very least, top 5 to 10 all time as a quarterback. But in my opinion, as it stands now, he's done and he's washed. I think last week really showed that because I get C.J. Stroud, I get Brock Purdy struggling against Brian Flores' defense, but if you just watched that game last week, it's just not the same Aaron Rodgers anymore. So I think the Bills, although they lack I think the Bills' lack of offensive talent is starting to show. I do think that they win this game, and I think they win it kind of handily too. I think that their defense is pretty good, and I think they'll get to Rodgers and give me the Bills by 6.
Yeah, fair enough. What are your locks? You got any locks this week or any plays you like? I know we talk about it at the end of every episode. I got a couple locks this week and a play or two. What you like, Vince?
Yeah, so my first lock of the week is going to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers spread. Like I said a few minutes ago, it's hard for me to take a rookie against a Todd Bowles defense. Not to say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just playing lights out defense, but I do think schematically Todd Bowles will make it tough on a rookie, especially like I said, a rookie that isn't, that hasn't gotten first team reps until this week. So give me the Bucks -3.5, and then my second lock is David Montgomery anytime touchdown. I think the Cowboys, their run defense is, suspect. We do know that the Lions, like you said, they're a power football team. They're going to run the ball downhill. And with Dallas just having injuries, I like David Montgomery anytime touchdowns as my second lock.
And I have a couple locks, and you're probably going to laugh because we just talked about the Jets, but I think Breece Hall has a bounce-back game and gets in the end zone this week. Okay. I like it at the plus money here, +105. I know Bills are stingy on run defense, but I think he finds a way to get in there this week. Jets are a little desperate, even though I talk a little bit of shit about them. Mm-hmm. And another lock I like, I go back to it. I love the Ravens -6.5. You got a nice little parlay cooked here with our locks. Now, I know you like the Commanders, so even if we take this out, we still get a 5-1, a little over 5-1.
Nice.
This looks kind of nice right here.
I like
that. To put this in, man, because last week Chuck sold us, man. Chuck sold us on the parlay. But some other plays I like, and it's probably obvious. Bijan anytime. It's -180. So I mean, I don't want to say I don't want to put call a lock out at -180. I'd rather do something closer to -150 or less.
I love Bijan anytime. Panthers defense is awful. Their run defense is awful. Just everything. He should definitely cross the end zone.
That's another guy we're probably going to see a lot of in our DFS league this week.
Yeah.
I would imagine. But Vince, that's all I got, man. My Phillies lost. I'm a little heartbroken. We're rolling in the basketball season. Still football season, so hopefully the Eagles pull it out this week.
Yeah, tough series for the Phillies, man. That's just the thing about baseball. It's like when your bats go cold, especially this time of year, and you rely on hero shots, kind of like you guys did in the series before, towards the end of the season. You can't win that way, but that's all I got too, man. That's the pick and roll.
Pick and roll out of here. Talk soon.
Talk soon.